called Dodi Medale Marba Meos Shana let it do. So the voice of my beloved jumps from the 400 years to 210, which is the gematria of Ridu, that you should go down to Mitzrayim. Matzah zu al shem shelo hispik batsekes, and this matzah is called because we did not have time for the dough to rise until Hashem was revealed. V'tzarich lahavin ke'inyan shenigla le'em melech malchei amlachim. We need to understand, because this concept that the Holy One, blessed be He, was revealed to them, haya achar chatzos, that was after midnight, v'achilas matzah tzarich lihiyos kodem chatzos, and eating matzah has to be before midnight. So why is the matzah then called? Because that he was revealed to them. Mao inyan melech malchei amlachim. So, and what is this concept of the King of all kings? Yish lahaktim inyan ad shelo nivra ha'olam hayahuv u'shmo levad. We can preface what's brought from Pirkei de Rabbi Eliezer, that until the world was created, he and his name were alone. Chayus kol ha'olamos inu elam b'chinas or v'ziv, that the life of all worlds is only from it's a light and glimmer, she'ino poel shum shinoi, that doesn't affect at all the luminary. Like it's written, Ani havaya lo shanisi, like it says, I am Hashem, I have not changed. Vayikra gam kein shem, and that's also called the name. She'ino nogei el atzmu, so that doesn't affect his essence at all. Vayikra bechinas melech, and it's called the concept of Hashem as the king. Just like the king, that his essence and being is not grasped in the entire country. He just rules over it by name. And what does it mean? Before the world was created, ki barasa mashma shahatmus gam nimshach. Because until it wasn't created is a passive voice, because an active creation implies that the essence is drawn into it and affected by the creation. But by him may be blessed, it's not so. That the creation doesn't affect his essence and being. Therefore it says, and they were automatically, so to speak, and they were created. He commanded, and they were created, but not in an active creation that affected him. But it was, so to speak, like the light that comes out automatically from the sun and so forth. But nonetheless, it's not like the allegory of the light of the sun from the sun. That the sun is forced to shine its light with whether or not it's good for it, so to speak. Even though in the detail that it doesn't affect it, it's the same. Which is not the case above. Drawing down this glimmer of creation, it's when it came up into his will, but it's not that he actively did it to the point where he would be affected by it. And therefore his name is in the gematria of his will, that it happened only because he willed it. And that's that his kingship is the kingship of all worlds. This, that his kingship of all worlds, I knew that he enlivens the worlds of that all of that's called in my name, in my honor, I created, and so forth. But your kingship, that is to say, as his kingship is nullified within himself, and that's the idea So you have the two ideas of Malchuscha and Malchus Kol Olamim. Malchus Kol Olamim is the Malchus as it enlivens worlds. And Malchuscha, your kingship, is as Malchus is nullified to him. So two concepts. That it gives Chayas to the Olamos, and on the other side, it's nullified to him. So that's the concept of the Melech Malchei Amlachim, the king of Kings. So it's the concept of Malchei Amlachim. I guess is the two concepts of Malchuscha and Malchus Kol Olamim, and then you have he's the Melech over that. Ubechinas Keser, and that's the idea of Keser. K'moshe bepardes v'nimshich memalchus to Ein Sof. And this is drawn from, so to speak, the Malchus of Ein Sof, Zoki Azdaika Hayetzias Mitzrayim Hamitzarim Ugvulim, and specifically through that, we went out of Egypt, out of our boundaries and restrictions. Now, in order to have this revelation, we needed to eat matzah. Similar to the idea that the child does not know how to say mother and father until he tastes grain. That the knowledge of the child that calls his mother and father, it's not a revealed knowledge with grasping and understanding that he can understand. Move on with the explained reason and grasping, because he doesn't know how he's his father, but he simply calls him father, because his soul is tied to the soul of the father, without any explanation or understanding. And that's revelation of the hidden knowledge. So too, through matzah is drawn into the souls the hidden knowledge, that we should recognize Hashem's divinity. The concept of his essence and being. And chametz is a lifting up and a taste. It's a concept of reason and understanding. Matzah she'ein ba yisnasus, and matzah where you don't have this puffing up. Vein batam, it doesn't have the taste. Batul v'ratzoncha, it's a concept of nullifying your will. Hepech hagasus, the opposite of coarseness and haughtiness. Hanikra avi avosatuma, that the haughtiness is called the father of fathers of impurity. Gamalashon matzah meriva. Matzah is also called from the language of fighting and battle, levatel hayesh, that is nullifying your existence. It's your fight with you. It's a bebechinas matzah zu tzarich lios maror, and together with this matzah, you have to have bitterness be'emsa kaira in the middle of the plate. Why is it in the middle? Because that's in Tiferes, that through the bitterness you awaken divine mercies, great mercies. So it's a concept of matzah is bittul, and mirirus is me'orei rachamim. Hamelech hamrom ma'am levado, the king who is exalted alone. Mizen nimshach b'rachamecha rabim rachim aleinu. From this you draw down with your great mercies. Have mercy on us, ushmartem. And you should guard the matzos. V'zeh hayahakol matzah rishon, and that's all the first matzah before chatzos. And afterwards you had the second matzah, which is a nullification. So I guess he's saying the first matzah is the lashon of matzah meriva. It's a battle. The second matzah is a concept of nullification. Because it didn't have time to rise. It wasn't able to rise because of the bittul. Now, the lo hispik, it doesn't necessarily imply time. It just says didn't finish. It didn't have the way to complete the rising. He speak. So then you were saying that it was because of bittul. Gimel, Zeu called Dodi, and that's the idea of the voice of my beloved. kol hu hamshacha, that a voice is the concept of drawing down. Vish kol gadol v'lo yosaf, and there's a concept of a great voice that doesn't stop, like by Matan Torah. V'af kan hamshacha zu b'chinas shenigla alein melech hulu. So to hear the concept that the king was revealed to them, nikra kol hulu, that's called a voice, the voice of my beloved, medaleg, and it's jumping, shebechinas giloi zeh, that the concept of this revelation cannot come in the way of a gradative process, but comes as a jump. And that's the idea of with the awesome fear. That's the revelation of the Shekhinah. That it jumps on the mountains. That's the Father's Chesed Gvura Tiferes, like Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov. B'Torah Nemar uPasach Havaya al HaPesach, and in Torah it says that Hashem jumps over the entrance. Hainu E'ezim Makom Hayadilog. That is, to what place was this revelation? Sheniskale B'chinas Malchuscha, that your kingship was revealed, B'chinas Malchus Kol Olamim, the concept of the kingship of all worlds. That's where it jumped to. Perhaps the Pesach is like the concept of Malchus. So it jumps over the Avos to Malchus. Pasach Hashem ala Pesach. Shir Hashirim Pirush Be'ezes Chus Hayadilog. And in Shir Hashirim, it explains in what merit was this jumping. V'zeu b'schus ha'avos, that was in the merit of the fathers. Al Harim, I guess. Look what's brought on the verse, that from the heads of the rocks I will see him. The Avos is the Imos. Daled mikapitz al hagvos, so that he jumps upon the hills. Heim haimos, that's the mothers. Dilug b'regel achas kofetz b'shnaim. That medaleg, the word dilug implies jumping with one foot, but kvitza mekapetz al hagvos, that's with two legs. That through the fathers the revelation was in a concept of love, and through the mothers in a concept of fear, because the mothers are higher than the fathers in one idea, in one level. That the fathers, the Holy One, blessed be He, let them taste in this world similar to the world to come. But in the time to come it says that the feminine will surround, encompass the male. So since the fathers were like the time to come, therefore the mothers were higher than them. That the woman of valor is the crown of her husband. The name Ban, which is like the feminine aspect, will be elevated to the concept of Sag, which is the higher level, like in Bina, the higher feminine concept. Therefore, through the mothers is drawn the great fear. The Gilei Shechina is the concept of fear, the imahos. So too, below you have two concepts, the Torah and the mitzvos. Ki hatalmud Torah, v'talmud Torah keneged kulam, because the study of Torah is equivalent to them all. Umikol makom lo hamidrash hu ha'ikar ela ha'maseh. Nonetheless, this study is not the main thing, but the action. V'zeu v'chachma tichya ba'aleha, and that's that wisdom will enliven her husband. Nonetheless, the 613 mitzvos with the 7 rabbinical mitzvos are the 620 pillars of light. Yisu Harim Shalom. But he doesn't explain which one corresponds to which. The which is the feminine, which is the masculine in this context. The Talmud Torah or the mitzvahs. Each one has a mila over the other. Yisu Harim Shalom, that the mountains lift up its peace. Hainu Hatorah shenikra Shalom. That is the Torah that's called peace. Vegama mitzvos nikra Shalom, and also the mitzvos are called peace. Vayam Maisat Staka Shalom, that the action of tzedakah will be peace. So I guess that's similar to how we have jumping on both the harim and the gvos. So you also have shalom in both of them. And you have a mila in the Torah connected kulam. And you have a mila in the mitzvos that lo hamidrash yikara la maisa. And you have a chokhmah tichya ba'aleh, that the wisdom enlivens, which is l'chor the masculine, and nonetheless the mitzvos are the Torah Hamudiyot. So you have all these juxtapositions. See, this also is the language of in the future, like the days of Mitzrayim, I will show you wonders, like Rosh Suri Mareno, that like the Avos, I'll show you, and we go Ashurenu. Perhaps Ashurenu is an even higher level than Arenu in this context. Hey, Dome Dodi Litzvi. So my beloved is compared to a deer, Matzvi Machsiro Sholachorov, just like the deer turns its head backwards. Hainu Bechinas Rosho, Hu Chakim V'lo B'chachmi Yediyah, that is, its head is the concept of wisdom, but not with a knowable knowledge. Bechinas Kol Galta Ratzona Elyon, and the concept of the skull, the supernal will, Yardu V'nislav Shabbatavodim Gashmim, descended and were enclosed in physical things, this not knowable knowledge. V'zeh haya kol b'Pesach Yitzias Mitzrayim b'bechinas dilog me'atzmo, and all of this happened on Pesach, the going out of Mitzrayim, in a concept of jumping on its own. But afterwards it says, you get up, my beloved. That is the counting of the Omer, that it should be a vessel to receive the giving of the Torah on Shavuos. Then in Kol Gadol, and the concept of this great voice by Matan Torah, like Kol Dodi, to reach the Kol Gadol. Kol Gadol Bina, that the great voice is Bina. The voice that doesn't stop, it's union. It's like a zivug. Bezoar Chelik Gimel Vayischanan Dafresh Samachalaf Amud Aleph. Hey Lod Lo Paski Mevoy Lalmin. That's the supernal hey, that its flow does not never stops. Ainu Shibnei Asher. That is the sons of Asher. Yichud Chachma Bina. It's a union of Chachma Bina. Zeu HaMshach Morin Sof Al-Yidei Abba Ve'ima. That's drawing down from the infinite light through the mother and father. Halkeinu Bechinas Tulo Pasak. Therefore, it's a concept of it never stops. She'ein Lezeh Hefsek. Ki ani havaya lo shanisi, because I am Hashem, I have not changed, and therefore there's no shinoi. It's a constant flow when you reach the level of Bina. That's why it's called Gadol Lo Yosef. So it's if you have a concept of the Gilui Shechina, which is Malchus, it goes up to Bina, like we said, Ban goes up to Sag. So called Dodi Medaleg, Al-Harim is like the concept of jumping from Bina to Malchus and the like, which is like the Gili of Matan Torah, which had this Kol Shofar. We can say, what does it mean? Kol Gadol, what's this great voice? The Gadol refers to drawing down from the great one of the worlds, Dainu Arichanpin, Which is not the case with the small countenance. Shu anpi zutri, which is the small faces of the Merkava. Inu nikra gadol, it's not called the big one. It's called zer. It's a small zutri. Val derech ze hegedola leah. So to shim hagedola leah is hegedola. The leah is the great hay. Shamru Razalra sages said gedola b'mant nosea kahuna. That why is she greater? Because she has the gifts of the kahuna. Because she gave birth to Levi. Because the Hegdola receives from Yisod Abba Marichan Pin from Arich. Ma'ash Ein Kain Hektana Rachel, which is not the case. Shem Haktana Rachel. So the hay of Hakatana is the small hay. Katana b'manosea Shaul Sha'achulu. That she was small in her gifts, that she had Shaul as the king for a while. Because she received from the small countenance. So again, that's another concept of like Malchus and Bina. You have the big hay and the small hay. Concept of the Imos.